What's up guys, I'm Rihanna aka Mini Marley, and today I just want to show you guys how to achieve the perfect heatless Bantu knot out on dry hair. So my hair is in an old flat twist out and I just want to vamp it up with a Bantu knot out. Now usually I would stay clear of Bantu knot outs because I just feel like they usually come out raggedy, for me at least. I've tried them on wet hair, which I think is a no-no, but I just today want to try it on a old flat twist out. Now I know a lot of people like to blow their hair out first, but I'm trying to stay away from heat, especially as I get into the colder winter months, since I want my hair to be super healthy and the cold weather kind of makes your hair all dry. So I'm just gonna try this out on my semi-stretched hair, and my hair is already super moisturized, so I'm not gonna be using a ton of products. So let's see how this turns out. Let's get into this tutorial. So my hair is still nice and clean because I used the Tresemme Renewal Hair and Scalp Shampoo and Conditioner when I was prepping my hair for the last style. Now I'm just getting ready to section my hair off so that my Bantu knots are a little bit easier to create. And I'm gonna work with this first section here at the bottom. So I basically made 3 Bantu knots out of that section, and I'm just starting here on the first one. And I just finger detangled a little bit, and then I added a teeny bit of water, not too much because this is a dry Bantu knot, but just enough to help you comb out the section and make sure that there are no tangles in it. Now I'm using the Motions Foaming Wrap Setting Lotion just to give my hair a little bit of hold, and this product is great for that. It doesn't leave your hair crunchy, but it does give you some nice hold so that you can set your style. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and start making my Bantu knots. Now it's really important that you don't twist the hair too close to the root, because as you start to twist your Bantu knot and form it, it's just gonna get tighter and tighter and tighter. And I learned that the hard way because my Bantu knots, even though I didn't twist them all the way to the roots, they were still a bit tight, so keep that in mind. So you're just going to twist your Bantu knot around itself and then tuck the ends of your hair underneath it so that they don't move. So my first 3 Bantu knots are looking really good, so I'm just going to section off another part of my hair and get ready to make the next row. So again, I'm just sectioning off about a medium-sized section, not too big, not too small, and then I'm going to add some of this foam setting lotion and then detangle my hair just a bit so that when I take down my Bantu knots, my hair is nice and smooth, because you don't want any bumps or kinks. And then I'm just applying some of the Motions Hydrate My Curls hair pudding. I started applying this halfway through just so that I could smooth out my ends, because you want to make sure that you don't have frizzy ends when you take down your Bantu knots. So I'm just twisting, and you can see how much space I leave at the roots because it does get really tight. So you just turn it and turn it around itself until you get all the way to the end, and then tuck your ends underneath the Bantu knot. So I'm finally on my last Bantu knot, and I'm gonna repeat all these steps one more time. So I just applied my foam setting lotion, and then I detangled this section to get out all the kinks. Then I applied the Hydrate My Curls pudding to smooth out the ends, and now I'm just wrapping my hair up into this Bantu knot. And be sure again to keep your roots loose so that it's not too tight. And just as a tip, if you have trouble keeping your Bantu knots to stay in place, just use a tail comb to tuck the ends under and they won't move. Okay, so I'm finally done doing these Bantu knots, and I'm not gonna lie, it was a struggle, but I think I did a pretty good job, and I did gel down my edges just a little bit and then tuck them in to make sure that I have a little bit of a sleek look at the end. So I'm gonna let these Bantu knots set overnight, and then I'll be back in the morning for the takedown to show you guys how my heatless Bantu knots come out on dry hair. So one of the pros of doing your Bantu knots on dry hair is that they will definitely be dry in the morning. If you've done them on wet hair before, then you know that it takes hours and hours for them to dry. So all I'm doing right now is taking down my Bantu knots, and I'm just unwinding them the opposite way of the way I put them in. And as you can see, they're super bouncy, really springy, they're nice and soft, and I'm just gonna continue to take all of these down and then be back when it's time to separate. So my Bantu knots are all out, and I know I look a little bit crazy right now, but I'm gonna get ready to separate these big sections into smaller sections and then fluff out my hair. And I know I said I was trying to stay away from heat, but because these little curls are so tight and springy, I'm just gonna stretch them just a bit and blow dry, not for long at all, just to get my curls to stretch out a bit more and look something like this as opposed to this. So I'll be right back. So now that my curls are a little bit more stretched out, I'm gonna get ready to separate. Now, just as a tip, if you're gonna be taking down your Bantu knots in the morning, make sure you give yourself some extra time because it does take a while to separate. But as you can see here, all I'm doing is unwinding the Bantu knots and then separating them where they seem to naturally come apart. Now pay close attention to the way that I stretch out my hair before I separate them instead of just pulling the curls apart at the roots, because if you do that, you will get a ton of frizz. Now I'm pretty much done separating my hair, and I really like the results so far, but I did think that it was a little bit too shrunken. As you can see here, I stretched out the roots with my blow dryer on this side, and now I'm about to do this side. Okay, so I finished stretching this side a little bit with my blow dryer, and then I just pinned back this little top section, and I love it. I think this came out really good. The curls are nice and loose, it's really movable and bouncy. So what more could I ask for? Now I can't lie, I do not think I'm a master of the Bantu knot out yet, but this is definitely one of my best attempts to date. So I hope you guys really like the results as much as I do, and I can't wait to see you guys in my next tutorial. Peace out.